evening, fellow crypto traders. This is Crypto Bands Guru from the Digital Assets Trading Academy. And here we are at the end of Monday, February 18th, President's Day in the United States, Family Day in Canada, and we had a nice move up today. So let's get right to the charts. And here you can see we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin has started turning positive for the last 4 or 5 days. So this indicator here is called the squeeze indicator, and it's a combination of Bollinger Band, Keltner channel, and it measures volatility when the Bollinger Bands move outside the Keltner channel. So you can see we're starting to turn green here, and boy, do we have a nice move up today. And we came right to our upper trend line on this downward uh, parallel channel, which we had been riding the midline for quite a while now, for basically all of 2019. And today we once again hit the top, so this would be our 1, 2, 3, fourth attempt to break out of this downward channel. And if we do, I could see us moving up to this point right here, about 5,600. So let's draw a resistance line up here, get my rectangle tool, and we'll draw it right here. So this is where we've stopped before. You can see that area there. And then I will extend this out far to the right because these can be around for a long time. So that would be the upward target for here. The other thing I like to do is send it to the back. I do go over all this in my intro to charting class that I will be scheduling a webinar for very soon. But that would be our next target. We may pause around here at the 4,700 level, but with all this white space here, I could see us definitely hitting 54.7650 or somewhere in this zone here as a next step. So very positive looking for Bitcoin. One other thing that I like to do is throw a Heikinashi on here. And I also do have a Heikinashi class coming up soon in the future. Don't have any dates for it yet, but you can see we have, after an elongated sideways move, we have now two very bullish moves up. And these are definitely trend Heikinashi candles. So you can see them over here. You can see them on the downside over here. And it's good that the top wick surpassed the previous day's wick. So this is another very, very bullish indicator for Bitcoin. Okay, so let's go back to the regular candles. And let's take a quick look at the 4-hour chart. That'll give us a little more of where we are on the short term. You can see we've had a move up, then we had this long downward consolidation period. But if you look at that as a bull candle, you could definitely see that this could be a bull flag, right? So actually better if I use the trend line. So we could draw that here. And let's see. And then draw the bottom one. All right, so that's our, more or less was our pennant. And now we're going to come up here, and it looks like we did a 1-to-1. So the next thing we would do to analyze this is we would do a fib extension. So we'll pull up our old fib extension tool, use this as the bottom, that's the top, so that's 1. Bottom here is 2, and then let's see where that would take us. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, fellow crypto traders, right up to that 1 extension. So we've had an equal 1 and 1 move up. So we may get some retracement now. And then if this is a true bull run, we actually should get up to the 272 or the 618 extension off that first move up. So let's see where we go in the coming days, but that's very good news for Bitcoin holders. Okay, so let's go back to the daily chart and let's take a look at Ripple. We're going to save Tron for last. So XRP. Also had a nice move up today, and again, it's attacking that top of the downward channel. So we have to watch this and see where it goes. We haven't quite turned green yet on the momentum squeeze indicator. It's technically a squeeze indicator. I like to call it momentum because it really shows excellent momentum with the color changes. And you can see starting here in January, we've been kind of on this steady decline, but the momentum indicator's slowly been sloping upwards, although giving us many fits and starts along the way. So we need to push up above this upper channel to, and then I believe the momentum indicator will start turning solid green if we get that high. We have definitely some resistance here at 37 cents and then at 39 cents. So in this zone here, you can see all this activity that took place here. So we would have to get past that. And this is an old support line. We had support here, but then broke through, got resistance here, and this kind of little triangle area here. So these would be my upward targets. And if we do look at this, if we shrink this up, not so much like that, we do have this upward, slightly upward parallel channel as well that seems to be have held has held pretty well as support. So we had 1, 2, 3 touches, and that's what you want to see. The more touches, the better. 2 isn't really strong enough, but 3 is. Okay, and so now the question is, where are we going to go in the next few days? Let's throw the Heikin-Ashi on here. And the first move up yesterday wasn't as strong. In my Heikin-Ashi class, I refer to this as a Kickstarter trend Heikin-Ashi candle, but it's really not perfect for that. The bottom wick is a little too elongated to be a true Kickstarter. But today's candle was good, so we just got to keep an eye on XRP and see where it goes over the next couple days. Let's take a quick look at the 4-hour. And we did have a fairly strong move up, although the last few hours we had this doji and then we had another really spider doji. So not conclusive, but the momentum indicator is definitely moving to the upside. So that is positive, and we'll have to keep an eye on XRP. All this seems to indicate to me that perhaps we are breaking out of our bear market, but I'd be careful today with bank holidays in the United States, and I believe Canada had a bank holiday as well. You have to ask yourself, who are the investors that have run the market up today? Are these really institutional buyers? I don't think so. So it's probably more short-term traders, non-institutional buyers. So we do have to be on the lookout that maybe this was kind of, let's pump it up, hit this resistance level, and it may retrace down a little bit. So this is true across the board. So tomorrow is going to be a really critical day as banks in the US and I believe in Canada will open again after a long weekend. So stay tuned, and I will post the results tomorrow after the trading day is over. All right, let's switch to Tron. So great news all around for Tron. I'm a huge Tron supporter. It to me is one of the few cryptos that has a truly valid use case, along with XRP. I mean, the reason I follow XRP and Tron and invest in them myself is because they do have very strong use cases. Of course, XRP in the banking and financial industry and as a store of digital wealth. And Tron is just like off the charts, man, in terms of everything they're doing, whether it's streaming music or BitTorrent. BitTorrent is going to be huge, folks. So lots of good news coming out of both those camps. And Bitcoin is Bitcoin. The early adopters, the fintech, financial technology institutions, they're all banking on Bitcoin. So say what you will about proof of work, but Bitcoin could be the one that survives. Okay, so here we are with Tron. So Tron also had this very apparent bull flag in the guise of this downward parallel channel. But if you look at it, it definitely is a bull flag, and so we're just waiting for the next move up. Momentum indicator went from red to maroon. So that means that the trend is shifting. And you can say, but it's not green. Okay, it's not green. That is true. But if you just look historically, every time it went from red to maroon, we got a little nice up move. And then here you can see when it went from green to dark green, it came down. So, sometimes it all depends how the cycles are aligning. So here on Tron, the cycles are aligning really well with the middle of the momentum indicator. So as soon as it starts to move up, we get an up move. Okay. And we have the same thing here, red, then maroon. So we started to move up, although then we did drop a little bit. Then we went to this consolidation period, and then we moved up, and then dark green. We came down a little bit, a little flutter of activity back up, and then down. So you can see if you follow this momentum indicator and you spend time looking at it, you get to read the signals. So I will tell you this is a very positive move, and hopefully this is foreshadowing our move to touch and then breach the downward parallel channel upper trend line from there. Okay, so that would be really great news for all the Tron holders out there. Let's take a look at the Heikin-Ashi. And this is more like XRP, so we don't have a great Kickstarter Heikin-Ashi candle. And today's Heikin-Ashi did not, the high did not breach. Although it's still early in the day, we haven't yet breached the high wick of the yesterday's candle. So we're just going to have to, again, wait and see what happens. Let's look at the 4-hour. Okay, so the 4-hour is actually looking pretty good. Here was an outside, yesterday was an outside candle, although it was kind of very spidery, which means we had long wicks on either end. So they haven't been as definitive as I would have liked to have seen, but you can kind of see it seems like Tron historically does have a history of having these spidery candlesticks. So anyway, it's positive. We're going to have to watch that. And so that's it for Tron. I did want to look at, and hold on one second, I'm going to pause the video for a second. So finally, I wanted to go over our total market capitalization for cryptocurrency. You can see up here that we've broken through 130 billion to 132, almost 133 billion. And just about a week ago, we were down to 113 billion. So definitely, what's that? About $20 billion increase in our coin market cap, and that's good news. We're not quite as high as that big Christmas Eve push we had, and then of course through November, prior to November, let's scroll out here a little bit. All right, we've been on a steady decline since May, so it'd be nice to see if we can actually rally above, even this level here at 216, $215 billion market cap. That would really be great for all of our portfolios. And let's take a look at the top 10 ranking. So of course we have Bitcoin as number one. Ethereum has overtaken XRP again. They had a big day up, 7.5%. So they've surpassed XRP. Of course, we all know that this is a manufactured XRP number because CoinMarketCap and Coinbase are heavily invested in Bitcoin and all the proof of work. Ethereum is still proof of work coins, but it actually is still a good litmus test so we can judge how we go. EOS, can never understand why EOS is doing so well. Man, up 25% today. Okay, I'm not going to talk smack about EOS, but personally, I am not investing ever in EOS for other reasons. We could get into that at a later date. Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Tether, which is weird that they put Tether here, and then Tron in number 8 position. We had a very modest day, up 5%. So Bitcoin up 5.3, XRP up 4.81. and Tron up 5.04. Okay, it better do some more gaining or it's going to flip-flop with Stellar again. So let's hope to see that up. So anyway, that's the cryptocurrency today. I'd like to do this market recap. I'm probably going to start off doing this at first and then get into the coin breakdowns. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and hit the subscribe notification so you'll know, every time I post a new video. Let me know if you found this helpful. Post your questions. I guess I should say, if you didn't read the disclaimer at the front, this is for educational purposes only. It is not investment advice. And Digital Assets Trading Academy is not responsible. If you do feel like you want to invest, make sure that you consult with a licensed financial advisor. Okay, so thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next go around. Have a great evening, crypto traders.